Hello everyone, welcome to Tesla Daily News. Today is May 25th Monday, and the following is the latest Tesla news. According to La Provence and RTL News, Tesla's supervised full self-driving rollout in Europe is becoming the most important Tesla story for investors and enthusiasts right now, because it touches the company's highest margin software ambitions, its regulatory pathway, and its long-term autonomous driving narrative. La Provence reports that a Tesla Model 3 equipped with what Tesla calls supervised full self-driving was tested around Marseille before full homologation in France. The system had already been approved in the Netherlands in April and then in Lithuania, and it is now being offered for trial use in France. In the French test, the car left a Tesla dealership in Les Pennes-Mirabeau, entered public roads, handled a roundabout near Saint-Victorette, merged toward the A7, accelerated to the speed limit, and carried out these actions while the human driver remained responsible. The reporter described the ride as impressively smooth, with steering, signaling, acceleration, and road positioning handled in a way that felt close to human driving. For Tesla followers, that wording matters. The European market has long been one of the more difficult regions for advanced driver assistance systems because regulation, road complexity, and local approval processes are more fragmented than in the United States. If supervised FSD can move from limited trials to broader legal availability, Tesla gains another path to monetize its installed fleet in Europe. That could matter more than a single vehicle launch, because software margins are structurally different from car margins. Every additional market where FSD becomes usable expands the potential revenue pool from vehicles already on the road. RTL News adds another important data point from the Netherlands. Dutch YouTuber Enzo Knol filmed a moment in which a Tesla using self-driving assistance reportedly helped avoid a collision with another driver who ran a red light. The article notes that Tesla drivers in the Netherlands have been allowed since last month to use the system on public roads without keeping their hands on the wheel, although the car is still not fully autonomous. A human driver must remain behind the wheel, watch the road, and be ready to intervene. The vehicle monitors driver attention with an in-cabin camera. Taken together, the French and Dutch reports showed Tesla's autonomy story in Europe moving from theoretical promise into public demonstrations and everyday incidents. For investors, the crucial question is not whether the system is perfect today. It is whether regulators, customers, and insurers begin to accept supervised autonomy as a normal feature. Tesla often argues that its system can reduce crashes compared with average human driving, and La Provence says Tesla claims the technology is capable of causing far fewer accidents than conventional driving. That claim will remain heavily scrutinized, but every safe public road experience helps normalize the product. Enthusiasts should still remember the word supervised. The driver remains legally and practically responsible. This is not a robotaxi service, and it is not permission to stop paying attention. But the European progress is important because it suggests Tesla may be building a multi-country regulatory beachhead. If France follows the Netherlands and Lithuania, other European markets may become easier to approach. For shareholders, this is the top story of the day because it combines software revenue potential, brand differentiation, data collection, and a direct challenge to traditional automakers that are still trying to define their own autonomy strategies. According to Focus Online, Tesla's Gigafactory in Grünheide is receiving better employee ratings, and that is the second major story for investors because production quality, labor stability, and workforce retention are critical to Tesla's European strategy. Focus cites new Kononu data showing that the average employer rating for the Grünheide plant rose from 3.56 out of 5 in the period from January 2023 to August 2024 to 4.07 since September 2024. The recommendation rate also climbed from 65.9% to 79.1%. This is notable because Tesla's work culture has often been associated with intense pressure, aggressive targets, and Elon Musk's long-standing view that major industrial breakthroughs require extraordinary effort. Focus reminds readers of the phrase production hell, which Musk used during the difficult Model 3 ramp, and it also recalls his tough stance on remote work. Against that background, improved employee sentiment at the German factory is not a small detail. Grünheide is Tesla's most important manufacturing base in Europe. It supports local Model Y production, helps Tesla reduce dependence on imports, and gives the company an industrial presence inside one of the world's most competitive automotive regions. Better labor sentiment can reduce hiring friction, improve retention, and potentially support more consistent production execution. Kononu data cited by Focus shows that salary and benefits improved from 3.54 to 4.21 points. Working conditions rose from 3.41 to 4.08. Leadership behavior increased from 3.33 to 3.91, communication improved from 3.29 to 3.86, and work-life balance rose from 3.20 to 3.79. These are broad improvements across categories that matter to daily operations. Focus also reports higher average pay in several job roles. Logistics workers moved from €37,500 to €41,865. Production employees rose from €35,962 to €39,937. Supervisors increased from €62,087 to €68,315. HR managers and team leaders were also listed with solid average salaries in the newer period. The report also mentions employee offerings such as a stock program, a gym, a barbershop, and the option to rent a Tesla for €25 per day. From an investor perspective, the key issue is whether Tesla can combine its demanding operating culture with enough employee satisfaction to avoid disruption. German labor relations, unions, environmental concerns, and local political scrutiny can all affect factory performance. If workers increasingly recommend the site, Tesla may be better positioned to maintain output and compete for skilled labor. The story does not mean Grünheide has become an easy workplace. Focus still describes the environment as performance-driven, fast-paced, and demanding. But a demanding factory with improving pay, better communication, and stronger employee approval is more sustainable than a demanding factory with falling morale. For Tesla enthusiasts, this is also a reminder that Tesla's future is not only about software and artificial intelligence. It is also about whether thousands of employees can build cars at scale, every day, with quality and consistency. According to Daily Tribune in the Philippines, Tesla has started deliveries of the 6-seat Model YL in the Philippine market less than a month after opening local orders. This is the third most important story because it highlights Tesla's continued international expansion and the company's effort to adapt the Model Y formula to family buyers in newer EV markets. The first local delivery was held at 7 Neo, a property operated by Neo Group, and Tesla linked the event to broader sustainability efforts and clean transport. The Model YL offers 3 rows and seating for 6 passengers, targeting families and buyers who want more room without leaving the EV segment. Tesla says the cabin layout can accommodate children, passengers, luggage, daily items, sports equipment, and even several golf bats. The company also emphasizes improved suspension comfort, flexible seating, and usefulness for both city driving and out-of-town trips. This is particularly relevant in the Philippines, where family use, school runs, errands, work commuting, and weekend travel often overlap in a single vehicle. For investors, the direct sales volume from the Philippines may not be huge compared with China, the United States, or Europe, but the strategic signal matters. Tesla is not just selling premium sedans or performance vehicles. It is pushing family-focused EVs into markets where charging networks are still developing and where consumer trust in electric mobility is still being built. The Model Y has already been one of Tesla's most important global vehicles, and a 6-seat version gives Tesla a more flexible answer to family SUVs and MPVs. Daily Tribune reports that Tesla has listed a limited number of units on its online inventory page to shorten wait times for some buyers. The company is also increasing delivery capacity in the country as demand grows. Charging support is part of the local offer. Tesla currently operates 4 supercharging stations with 16 superchargers, plus 6 destination charging stations with 24 wall connectors in the Philippines. That infrastructure footprint is still small, but it shows the same playbook Tesla has used in other markets: sell vehicles, build confidence through charging access, and make ownership easier over time. For enthusiasts, the Model YL delivery is another example of Tesla using one platform to address different regional needs. For shareholders, it is a reminder that international growth is not only about the biggest markets. Smaller markets can help strengthen the brand, create early EV leadership, and build long-term loyalty before competitors establish dominance. According to Wade, a Tesla Cybertruck owner in Texas misunderstood the limits of the vehicle's Wade Mode and intentionally drove into Grapevine Lake, leading to a failed stunt, a water-filled truck, emergency response, and an arrest. This is not a positive brand story, but it is important because it touches Cybertruck perception, customer education, product communication, and the difference between rugged marketing and real operating limits. Wade reports that the driver told Grapevine police he deliberately drove the Cybertruck into the lake to test Wade Mode. The problem is that Wade Mode is designed for controlled water crossings, not lake driving or underwater travel. According to the Cybertruck manual summarized in the article, the feature allows the vehicle to cross rivers or streams at a maximum water depth of 82 centimeters, measured from the bottom of the tire, and at a low speed of 2 to 5 kilometers per hour. The mode must be manually activated through the off-road app. It raises the vehicle's ground clearance to the highest setting and increases pressure in the high-voltage battery pack to help protect against water and dirt intrusion. But it remains active for a maximum of 30 minutes, and Tesla explicitly tells drivers to check water depth themselves before entering. Tesla also states that water damage is not covered by warranty. The Cybertruck in this incident became disabled and filled with water. The driver and passengers escaped, and firefighters had to help recover the vehicle from the lake. Police said that just because a vehicle can technically cross water does not mean doing so is legal or safe. Social media reactions were heavily sarcastic, with comments joking about putting the truck in rice, needing submarine mode, or saying the driver was not James Bond. For investors, the financial impact of one incident is obviously tiny. But the reputation impact of viral Cybertruck failures can be larger than the event itself. Cybertruck is a polarizing vehicle. It is designed to project toughness, capability, and futuristic engineering. When owners misunderstand a feature and the result becomes a viral rescue story, critics use it to question the vehicle and the brand. Tesla is not unique here. Off-road trucks from many brands are damaged when owners exceed limits. But Tesla's products often attract more attention because the company markets advanced features and because social media amplifies every unusual incident. The lesson for enthusiasts is straightforward. Wade mode is not a boat mode. It is a limited water crossing feature with strict depth, speed, time, and safety requirements. The lesson for Tesla is that feature names, user education, and in-car warnings matter, especially when a vehicle has an adventurous image. If customers treat capability features as entertainment challenges, Tesla may face more headlines that distract from real product strengths. According to riders in Lithuania, a Tesla was involved in a serious road accident on the Via Baltica after a moose suddenly ran onto the road. This story is lower on the investor importance scale, but it is still relevant to Tesla owners because it shows how emergency responders handle EV crashes and how high-energy wildlife impacts can create serious safety situations regardless of vehicle brand. The accident happened late on May 23 in Kazlu Ruda municipality, near Lamarkai village, on the A5 Marijampol Kaunas road. Police said a Tesla driven by a man born in 1981 collided with a wild animal that suddenly entered the roadway. 2 passengers, one born in 1991 and a child born in 2019, were injured and taken to a hospital in Kaunas. Fire and rescue officials reported that the Tesla struck the moose and that another vehicle also hit or was struck by the animal. When firefighters arrived, no one was trapped, and all 5 occupants of the Tesla were conscious. Medical workers transported 2 passengers to the hospital, and the minor was accompanied by the father. Firefighters cut the main cable of the Tesla electric vehicle and cleared the road surface. Authorities opened a pre-trial investigation. For investors, this is not a Tesla-specific product failure story. It appears to be a wildlife collision, the kind of unpredictable event that can happen to any vehicle. But for EV owners and enthusiasts, it is a useful reminder that first responders are increasingly trained to secure electric vehicles after crashes. Cutting or disabling high-voltage systems, managing damaged battery packs, and clearing accident scenes are becoming standard parts of road safety in EV markets. As Tesla and other EV brands become more common across Europe, emergency services will continue adapting procedures. The incident also highlights a reality sometimes lost in debates about vehicle technology. Driver assistance, strong structure, and software cannot eliminate every hazard. A large animal suddenly entering a high-speed road can produce severe outcomes even when occupants remain conscious and emergency services respond quickly. The investor takeaway is limited, but the owner takeaway is practical. EV safety is not just about battery chemistry or crash test ratings. It also depends on emergency protocols, road conditions, wildlife risk, speed, and occupant restraint use. Looking across today's Tesla news, the most valuable theme is that Tesla's story is splitting into several tracks at once. The autonomy track is moving forward in Europe, where supervised FSD demonstrations and public road usage could become a major software catalyst if approvals broaden. The manufacturing track is improving in Germany, where better employee sentiment at Grünheide supports Tesla's ability to remain competitive in the European auto market. The growth track continues in the Philippines, where the Model YL is reaching family buyers and Tesla is building charging support. At the same time, the Cybertruck Wade incident and the Lithuanian wildlife crash remind us that real-world ownership includes misuse, accidents, and public scrutiny. For shareholders, the strongest signal today comes from supervised FSD in Europe and improving Grünheide labor sentiment. For Tesla enthusiasts, The most exciting stories are the French and Dutch autonomy experiences and the arrival of the 6-seat Model YL in the Philippines. The cautionary story is simple: know the limits of the technology, whether that technology is supervised autonomy, off-road water crossing, or high-voltage EV safety. Thanks for listening to Tesla Daily News. If you found this episode useful, please subscribe and join us again for the next Tesla update.